Well, just as we thought all the Home Depot leaks were done, here Home Depot is bringing us two more animatronics to look out for the final day of the Home Depot's manager meeting. Let's take a look.
Sometimes it's not. I always come back. I am Chucky, the killer dog, and I don't want to give that up.
Oh, obviously, I shouldn't have to catch any of you up, but just because there might be some weird people, I'm going to right now. There's been a crazy amount of leaks coming out. We've had props like the Ogre, the Shark, the Fisherman, all of them, and we've even had newer ones like the Bride of Chucky and the Bride of Frankenstein, which are really good options. But we have a Leprechaun, we have all different stuff. But we have two more that are inside the home walkthrough, the Home Depot, I guess. Of course, at their manager meeting, they gotta have a giant house you walk through. And there have been, the Pig Butcher, the ones we've seen already that are really cool. But there are two more that catch my eye quite a lot that I think you guys should know about. They're both pretty much kind of circus related, but I know a lot of people have been like, where are the clowns? Of course, there's a lot of people that are obsessed with the clowns, and they gotta have a clown. And so here's this one. It's this really long leg. It's supposed to be a Jack-in-the-Box, but like legs spurted out, and it's pretty crazy. It's not something I would buy, to be honest. It's cool, but it's not my niche. Clowns are kind of my thing, but they aren't, if that makes sense. But it's definitely an interesting prop to have released. It's probably gonna be pretty affordable. But it's just all around interesting to see this weird clown creature that's got long legs, and there's nothing crazy I can really observe about it, but on to the next one. Here is the next and final one. This is, I want to say, a animatronic Chuck E. Cheese style animatronic, if that makes sense, and I can say I'm not too much of a fan of this one. It's a really cool idea, and it's really kind of creepy, but it's too much like a furry for me. They could have pulled it off a bit different, but it is pretty creepy with the teeth. It's wearing this kind of ripped up shirt with these claws at the bottom. It's supposed to be a rabbit, I guess. Not something I'd buy, especially full price. I might modify it 75% off, but definitely not full price, honestly. I don't really care for this one that much. This final wave is pretty lackluster in my opinion, but they are doing pretty good with diversity. All different themes. You could bend these props into 100 different kinds of themes. But this is a really interesting lineup. And also at the manager's meeting, I guess they have an auditorium where they talk about the new products and the stock and everything. And they do have a little Halloween section. 15-foot scarecrow right here next to the 12-foot skeleton. Remember, 5 years ago, 12-foot skeleton was the biggest thing in the retail market. That has been absolutely beat. I don't think I'm more impressed that the Scarecrow is 15 feet, but I'm impressed by the arm span. That is absolutely huge and absolutely wild. But then again, how is that going to be able to be managed in your yard? How are you going to be able to take that down, put it up? You're going to need at least like 4 people to put that up. And I don't have respect for that idea of having the super long arms. Cut the arm size in half, and it would look absolutely even more proportionately right. I definitely think this is a really cool option, but I just see this being a little inaccessible for a lot of people that had originally wanted this, just because the arm span is so big. Now, this is the opposite of what the Lowe's Scarecrow has, which they have a 6-foot version and a 12-foot version. The arms are not very long, it just doesn't look creepy enough, and it just doesn't look right. This is absolutely the great version of it, and it's really cool to see how the legs kind of intertwine into one just big root coming out of the ground. Honestly, it's a lot different of a build than the 15-foot Phantom, and I'm scared about that. It's kind of just this stick going up. If that's strong enough to hold this arm mass, you can say for yourself, but you're going to need almost 100 pounds of bricks, I think, and weights. You're going to need tons of rebar stakes, and most importantly, guy wires for every direction. I don't see this thing surviving a week without those. I don't think that can be very durable. It just doesn't look right, and I can see the arms kind of being like sails to just blow it over, and I feel like this just is more for if you have property and want to display this. especially if you have an HOA, they're gonna absolutely scream and yell at you into the wee hours of the night for putting this up. And so if you live especially by an HOA or you don't have much room, kind of like us now, I would not recommend getting this guy. He's just a bit big, and I mean, that's a great thing, but it also makes him pretty inaccessible for a lot of people. But anyway, we got those two new animatronics. Worst wave out of them all, I feel like, but it's still unique to see the variety that comes from these. We have had a shark, an ogre, all this stuff. I feel like the leaks are sadly over, but I have enjoyed this wonderful time period of the community going wild and these animatronics releasing, because it has been quite a time to be alive. But I think that would be about it. But that's about it, I guess. I don't know. But for now. Hey everybody, it cut out, but I am back. We do have a better angle of that zombie guy that is now a barber, apparently. It's supposed to look like it's cutting your hair. But anyway, here we are. This Gravedigger looks really cool. Still really glad about it. It looks really unique. The face is completely different than they usually do, and I absolutely love the creativity. I like how it's also standing on a grave mound, and if you can't see those red two dots through a little crack, there's not a doubt in my mind, this isn't a Cotton Candy Dan reskin, with the pop-up thing in there, so that's a really cool idea. Overall, I only know of Henry Hustle and Cotton Candy Dan having that mechanism, so I'm really glad to see the hidden scare work better, and it even fits this properly well. But for everything horror, this is ABC Halloween. See you later.
Sometimes it's not. I always come back. I am Chucky, the killer dog, and I don't want to give that up.